going on, the movement, the environment. Appreciate you for that. So yeah, man. So basically, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm really ready to get into it.
Okay, okay. So, mental health matters is very important in today's society because, a lot of kids, the youth, the adults, no matter what age, a lot of people are losing their lives due to mental health awareness, committing suicide and things of that nature. So this is just like important to me to push the movement of like you're not alone, you know what I'm saying? And just talk about your experiences that you grew up with, that you may have faced, maybe suicidal thoughts or something that you overcame that was, rough on you in your lifetime
hmm
and like we can speak on it.
hmm
So like, what was a rough patch, that you overcame?
I believe that one situation that I had that I think about growing up would be like when I had a parent that passed away,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a really difficult moment. Uh, Dealing with it was one thing, but then oftentimes I'm feeling that you have a support team around you to talk about it. Because oftentimes it's you know it's men or oh,
You good? You good? You good? There we go. There we go. There we go.
okay, my bad.
Oh, you
I
good?
can't see
Check
me.
and see. There you
Okay,
go.
right there, right there. I think it's important to be able to communicate certain things because a lot of times as men, we don't get the opportunity to speak our minds or whatever. Where sometimes we are judged by what we have going on as far as just the foundation of communication. But sometimes we don't understand that foundation until we get of a certain age. But when you look at the statistics, it could possibly be that most times with the committing suicide and all that, it starts at a younger age, but it shouldn't take from the time that when you're young and you're going through it to the time you get older where the light bulb comes on like, oh, maybe I could have talked about this then. It might have helped me
Exactly.
better understand how to go through it.
Okay, I agree. I feel like a lot of men don't speak out as well when it comes to mental health matters because like a lot of men was taught to be tough, hide your emotions, just be. They trained us to be the Hulk, just feed off rage, and that's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you really pay attention, the Hulk is my favorite superhero. If you pay attention to the Hulk, right? He has, I wouldn't say a weakness, but guess what? When he sees his lady, guess what he does? He calms down and he turns
Mm-hmm.
back human,
Mm-hmm.
and he don't rage anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So he has that one person that he can confide in and be calm with. So that's why a lot of people got to look at that. So they try to portray the Hulk as just angry. Oh, I'm a rage, keep just breaking stuff. But once he see his woman, it's over with, or a
Mm-hmm.
friend, whatever you want to call it. But that's why I like that. So basically, like a lot of men, they have to speak out. I feel like because they speak in silence. They feel like they're unheard. They feel like they have nobody to talk to, nobody to run to. Because today's society is a little rough. A lot of people betray you. A lot of people tell you business. A lot of ears is a lot of mouths to talk about. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why
Hey,
you gotta keep your circle small.
well, the trust factor as well.
Mm-hmm.
You get judged off of just you might feel like you have that friend or that family member which you can confide in, but oftentimes, shoot, hey, they might turn on you too. So now you turn my tribe
Uh,
into a joke, and now you're laughing at me when I might be really going through something. I might really be feeling some type of way. I might really need your help. And sometimes oftentimes people don't believe that. They would rather see you really at your lowest versus trying to help you to pick you back up. And I think that's like a big thing. I think men, men and women, but more so I see it more so than in men. Because you think about like recently I had someone that I know that got murdered by someone who they trusted, that they
mm-hmm.
loved. And the sad part about it is that of course she didn't deserve that, but he could have been battling some demons, and then he's young, you know what I'm saying? He's within that age range that 15 to I would say ages 15 to 25, of people of young men that just don't like to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
It maybe if he would have reached out to say, hey, I have this going on, this is what's going on with me right now, then maybe some other men in his family or whoever could have just had got hands onto him, to communicate to him, to talk to him, to hear him out, to see what he had going on, versus him making the decision to go and take someone's life.
Exactly. 100% agreed. It's just, man, today's world is scary out there. It's very scary. Not like how it used to be. You can leave your doors unlocked. Nowadays, you can unlock if you want to.
Man, you can't leave nothing unlocked no more, man. Right now.
It's Zay that I used to be live stream. What up, Zay? Best friend, what up? What up, Zay? I remember you. How you doing? W's in the chat. Come on now. Yeah. But yeah, man, I 100% agree with that. So honestly, how do you feel like? Why do you think the suicide rate has went up? You know, like statistically by a huge margin. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day to now, it like went up. You know what I'm saying? Like high. So how you feel about that? Cause you know back then, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like back then the world was way much better. You feel what I'm saying? As far as people was on farms, people had their own farms. They was growing food. They had chickens. They had animals. And then like they lived their life, you know what I'm saying, the way they wanted to. Like you know what I'm saying, how you go from leaving your car door unlocked to leaving your house unlocked, your door open. You go on a date, come back, and
to lock it every day.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now you got Ring cameras. You can't have your kids outside past street light no more. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like crazy. You can't even do that no more. I used to be outside every day. My mama said, "Hey, when that street light come on, you ain't coming in and out of my house. You gonna drink out that water hose. And you gonna come back inside this house with that street light come on. Or you gonna get a whooping."
I think the thing that's different now is that the village. You know, the villages was missing. You know, the neighborhood aunties and uncles. You know, the community warriors, the prayer warriors. You know, the people that oftentimes maybe that everybody know a Janice. Or Gladys, you know,
everybody. The candy lady in the neighborhood.
You know what I'm saying? But she knew everything as well. Yeah. She knew what was going on. You know, she communicated what was happening, and I mean, you know, if you need whatever you needed from her, she was able to provide it for you. She didn't know she knew somebody that could, but also with that, she was also the counselor. She was also someone's mother. She was also like someone's aunt. A reliable source of information within the community. But the foundation of villages was missing now. You know, people don't have that foundation of, okay, well maybe if I might really like need some sugar, so I call my neighbor. No, your neighbor may not have that for you, you know, and if they may not, you may not want to knock on your neighbor door because you don't know what your neighbor gonna be on, you know, nowadays. So it's just a different foundation, and I think the foundation of villages definitely was missing within the community. Just not within the black community, just in all communities. You know, I don't like to kind of put like a color stem on just one side of it. I look at it as a whole, and how we all are in as a community are affected by when people make decisions to do things to affect our community. You know, it's really important to be able to communicate what's going on. And a lot of times people struggle with that.
Facts.
You know, it's and I don't know. I see it. I would say maybe sometimes women might experience it, but I see it more so in men. You know, I see it that a lot of times men do, because men do have those moments when, you know, we get to a point where we shut down. You know, we'll you know, you go, hey brother, you doing all right? Don't call me bro. You know,
I ain't your brother.
I ain't your brother. My daddy ain't had you, you know, or it might be like, you say, what up, twin? You're like, well, why are you calling me that? Like, you know, I don't know you like that. Okay, well now, man, I'm just trying to talk to you, see what's up, because I can tell that something is bothering you. But I'm trying to come to you as a man versus, like, you know, I'm not trying to do no extra stuff, but see, that's just what the thought process is now. You can't even have a conversation with, I can't, truth be told, really, we can't even have we're having a conversation, but here, within here, but just to think what it would be like if it was just outside and you didn't know me. You know how different that would be. So you wouldn't think that mentally would be challenging for some people, you know?
Yeah, because we have a lot of introverts. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people that's shy. Like I can tell, like when I'm at the airport and people walk by and I talk to them, some people will stutter. Like they'll try to get it out, but they like be nervous. They be like, have a nice day, and they'll stutter like that. And I be like, it's all right, have a nice day. How you doing? And then they'll be like, oh, I'm doing good. Like they just be a little nervous. So a lot of people are introverted, and I be like, wow, like
I would say for me, I know that like I pretty have a very much a welcoming personality. You know, if you don't know me, most of the times I'm like, hey, how are you? How you doing? You know, I try to make sure that you understand how I'm coming because I'm pretty much you know, the person that I'm the opener with the conversation. You know,
that's true, Chad.
You know, you know, I want, you know, how you doing? Like, what's your name? You know, where you from? You know, and let's start there because that's the foundation of understanding how you are as a person and how I can communicate with you, and then also how if you have an issue identifying yourself, then how do you expect me, the person that don't know nothing about you, to be able to identify you?
Exactly. I'm just speaking.
I'm just speaking. I'm just talking. You know, so
totally agree. Time has changed, especially with the community in this time of generation. Now that I can agree on. Okay, bestie. Okay, bestie. Come on now.
It's definitely in a perfect world, we would like it to where we can walk into a grocery store. We can just walk around and just say hi, but people don't even do that. You know, so I think with what you're doing,
maybe like this.
Yeah. Oh, you know, the phone is the you know.
Why you speaking to me?
Yeah. And the worst thing you can do also is when you're like when you don't know someone and you get distracted by your phone.
Hey, Monet. What's up, Monet?
I think the best conversations to have with someone is when you are giving them eye contact. I'm one of those people where y'all don't judge me. I wear glasses because my eyes be but it's only because of my self-awareness. My self-awareness is very high. You know, I'm always in my mind. I'm gonna go. So, but when it comes to meeting people, I try to give direct eye contact. I try to make sure that you understand, as me being the open person for the conversation, that as you as a receiver, on the receiving end of the conversation, you understand that you are getting my undivided attention. Okay. Where I'm not gonna like have my phone and look at you and all that type of stuff. I'm gonna make sure that you understand what I'm saying, how I'm trying to convey it, and then also we can break down what that conversation is gonna be.
Okay, I got a question for you. Based off this comment right here, my best friend, she said, "Cell phones is the new generation." He's very well spoken. Okay, WV, he's very well spoken. Hello. Hello. I'm feeling my dog. All right, here's the question. All right. So, we're talking about cell phones and that nature, right?
Okay.
So, Toy Story 5, right?
Okay.
Comes out next week, June 18th, right? So, do you know what it's going to be about? Have you seen the trailer? Because I can tell you.
I'm assuming it might be about mental health.
It's about kids being on their tablets more than playing with their actual toys.
Oh.
So, in Toy Story 5 is going to be like technology versus toys.
Okay.
And it's going to be like a battle.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be very interesting. So do you think that's going to be a generational movie for like to teach the kids, like, put down that damn tablet, go outside, go play with your toys, go meet some friends, because a lot of kids are so introverted, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they like, I got the newest iPhone, you don't, like, they mean. So I'm like, so do you think that's gonna be a generational movie? Like, how you think, you know, that movie is gonna sell? How you think it's gonna go? Cause
you know, for the original Toy Storyers, they're gonna be like, why we gotta talk about, why we can't just stick to the script? I think for the new up and coming ones who probably just want a new storyline, will try to adapt to what's going on in today's world, right? Mm-hmm. So the biggest thing would be for it to see, well, okay, like, we have this going on, but then we still kind of want to make sure that the original storyline falls into play with that. Mm-hmm. It might be kind of tough, man, because it's almost like I'm giving you what you want, but I need to talk about what's happening right now, because what's important now is very important to talk about. I don't necessarily agree with the tablet thing. You know, oftentimes I think that it's good for children to go outside and engage with each other and play. I think, you know, I don't think it's gonna work.
Are you nervous? Do you think, so you know how on Avengers, how the crowd got silent when Thanos won, when he got the stones and snapped his fingers? Uh-huh. Do you think Toy Story gonna lose? Do you think the tablet's gonna take over and win?
The tablets?
You think Toy Story gonna take their first L in the franchise?
Man, I hope not.
I think they're gonna lose. That's
you
my
think
opinion.
so?
I think they're gonna lose, and the crowd gonna cry. I think they're gonna lose. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Cause if they going off based on what's happening in today's world, technology has took over.
Right.
So in my opinion, I'm thinking that they're gonna win in this movie. I think the kids are gonna cry. They're gonna see Woody go away. No, they're gonna see the Woody and all that. I don't think they're gonna go away.
Hey, you know what though? To swing back around, I think that when you think about like with kids and the foundation of them being able to talk, to each other, mentally that got to be a journey where you're in a room with another child and say for instance we were kids, right? I like arts and crafts, and you might be like, okay, well, playing with you like building stuff. You're not like putting stuff together. Then you got this other kid over here with the tablet, and they come here and they slam the tablet down and say, okay, well, do you see what I'm playing? You see this? And you like, well, no, like I'm trying to do my little drawing stuff over here, and you come over and slam the damn tablet. Like, what's up with that? And then on top of that too, it's like people don't. Oftentimes, kids don't. I don't even. Well, it really starts at the home too, because I think that it's good for parents to sometimes implement a time frame to say, hey, well, here, let's take away that tablet. Why don't you just go? I think it starts at home. It really starts at home with getting to change the dynamic of what goes on, what a child does when they're at school or when they're around their friends. It starts at home. Because if you start as a parent, if you start to see your child do certain things or act a little different or whatever, then as a parent, I think it's wise to acknowledge those things. To say, okay, I see what's going on. Let me. It's a word for that. Y'all work with me. My head is running. Steadfast? No, not steadfast. Or stand or jump in front of it. Like, let's say for instance, if you see the child experiencing certain issues with communication or just not being expressive or being a little, or they might just be introverted or whatever. That's if you see a child experiencing those things, then let's jump in front of it and say, hey, I see you experiencing these issues, these problems. What can I do, or what can or the parent unit with father, mother, whatever, however it goes. What can we do as that child's support system to change some of the things that they're experiencing? Because as they get older, they become more. It goes from not being able to talk to others, to engage with others, and then they start doing things and start acting out. They might start fighting in school, or they might be a little bit combative, or it just be different things. So when you start to see those,
why y'all kids fight at school?
Why?
Let's talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's important to jump into those different things. Like my thing that I like to say when I get serious is, let's get into it.
Look at my
what's up?
Look at my best friend said. They started with me.
Hey.
Oh, so you became a natural born. So you had to defend yourself. That's what you said. You had to defend yourself.
Oh shit. Here we go
again. Or my thing I like to throw out there, I'd be like, let's get into it.
Yeah.
She's
out born to fight.
Hey, I feel you on that one. I feel you. Yeah, you definitely. What is it? You stay ready and get ready.
Hello.
So I just think it's important just to be able to, when you start to see those different things within the child, to acknowledge them. Not bypass them. Or kind of sweep it up under the rug. A lot of things that we do nowadays is we see certain things. We see the traits. We see we understand what goes on, but we don't acknowledge them at the forefront of what goes on. We don't do that.
You know what I learned too? Not knocking parents and all like that, but like, how we grew up, you know what I'm saying? It's some things that had to be changed when we became parents. Mm-hmm. Because it was like, do what I say, shut up, don't ask questions, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like, when I grew up, I used to think like, that's not right to me, because when I go to the workforce, I'm not going to be inquisitive. One thing somebody taught me, a sergeant major, we was at lunch, it was at breakfast, and he sat down right in front of me. He could have sat next to anybody in the cafeteria. He was a high rank. He sat in front of me. He looked at me and he said, he saw my name, you know we got our name tapes on the right. He was like, how you doing today? I said, I'm doing good, how about you? He was like, Baker. He was like, how you doing? So I'm doing good, sergeant major, you know. We used to be chopping it up. And then he said, I want to tell you one thing. I said, what's that, sergeant major? He said, don't be afraid to be inquisitive. And I was like, And I was like, do you know what that means? Like, not to try me, nothing like that. He was asking. He said, you know what that means? I said, I don't. He said, look it up on your phone. It said, don't be afraid to ask questions. That's inquisitive. Don't be afraid to ask questions, no matter how many times. You know what I'm saying? And once I thought about that, I was like, with my daughter, I, do things differently. Like, when she asked me why, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Like, if I said, hey, baby, can you pick up your toys? Why? Okay, I'm going to tell you why. Because, it's not okay to have a dirty room. It's not okay to leave toys on the floor when you're playing with them. You have to put them back where you got them from. And then when I says that, she locks in and understands, like, okay, this is why daddy, he's not doing this to bully me or yell at me. He's saying this so I can actually clean up, so I won't leave the floor dirty. That's how kids' brain processes. But if I just say, because I said so, clean it up, no. Then, because I got to realize that kids have emotions as well, just as us. So I had to realize that.
To piggyback off what you're saying, don't be afraid to ask questions, but don't be afraid to be questioned.
Exactly.
And then when the why factor comes in, provide reasoning.
Exactly.
So that when you provide the reasoning, it makes sense. It's clear. It's concise. With direction. Because you talk about a child.
Exactly. But it's crazy. What I realized, it's like when you talk to your significant other, it's cool. But when your child, it's because of what I said so. So, like, hey V, hey, I'm going out to the club. Whoa. That's it? Okay, who you going with? You know what I'm saying? Who you going with? What time you gonna come back? It ain't you just going to the club. We finna ask some questions, right? But with your child, cause I say no. You know what I'm saying? That's backwards to me. So you can communicate with your significant other, but when your child asking questions, you wanna dethrone them. But when your man or your woman asks you a question,
okay,
you wanna okay, this is what I'm going, this is what I'm doing. You can't be like that. That's not fair to the child.
Growing up, there was a singer by the name of Mr. Biggs. Mr. Biggs, y'all know Mr. Biggs, right? How you doing, Mr. Biggs? What the hell is going on? What you mean is going on? Kelly's telling me you sleeping with another woman.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
in the comments, okay, my bad, best friend, my bad. We gonna go. I got you. Okay. In this time of generation, parents and our generation wants to be the kid's friend. Ooh, that's a good one. Instead of being the parent. And that's where the situation goes wrong when we grew up. Our parents didn't play that. We was going inside each other's head. I disagree with that because you cannot ask me why you're a child and you have to stay in a child's place. If I ask you to do something, that's what I want you to do.
I said it, I meant it.
Kids do have emotions, I agree with that. But they're not grown, so it's not their place to ask why if they're not harming any way or form. And then she's got little Mr. Biggs. I can agree with you, but I'm just saying, like, if they ask me, you know what I'm saying, like, why? Because they don't know. They're a kid. They're learning. You feel me? So I want to teach them why. So when they get older, they know, okay, I'm not going to leave because then it forms habits. If I just yell, I feel like that's going to bring, like, they not comfortable talking to me and stuff like that. I don't want my daughter to hide nothing from me. I want her to tell me the truth no matter what. No matter what, she thinks she's going to get in trouble or nothing. So I'll tell her. Now, sometimes I do be like, okay, baby. Now, if I tell her twice, that's different. Then I get daddy mode. Because I'm not going to tell you twice. I told you one time. I'll explain to you why. So let's get it done. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, daddy mode finna come. What I'm saying is a child has no place to ask a grown person the question why. It's a form of sentence that they're not harming any form. A child can be comfortable talking with the parent, but you have to understand the place and the value when it comes down to a child because most children think they're grown because their parents let them talk to them how they want to. Now, I agree with that. I don't play that now. You ain't finna talk to me any kind of way now. Hey, what they say? Hey, what it?
About the ass.
Hey, man. Hey.
Oh, hell no.
I'm trying to tell you. Hey, my daughter know. My daddy don't play that. Cause when she hear this music, she know what time it is. Hey, my baby know. I'm looking for my other one, my most important one. There you go. that was gonna happen. You got my full attention. I was sleep a little bit, but now I'm fully woke because you need to put it up in the bud. You funny. But I agree with you though. 100%. I agree with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, I got you.
My thing is making sure that we provide an open table of conversation. You know, when you oftentimes we talk about having a seat at the table. Mm-hmm. I think that it goes back to, for me, I remember growing up, my mom we would have dinner, and she would say, "How was your day?" And I would say, "My day was good." No, she said, "Tell me exactly how your day was." And I was like, "Okay, well, I sat at school. I woke up this morning. Did what I usually do. I went to school, learned this. Okay, what did you learn? Okay, I learned I learned how to do 1, 2, 3 ABC. She would ask me literally about my day and ask me to break it down. And then I think when I got in like high school, I asked her, so why did you used to ask us that? She said, because I want you to be able to explain, not just to me, I want you to understand for yourself, so that when you talk to others, you were clear and you were concise, and that people understand when you would say certain things, how you would disseminate it to that person. And also, let's say for instance you had to write. You can't just write on the paper, I had a good day today. You have to go, when you're writing a report or you're writing, or something, speaking into your adulthood, pouring into your adulthood, doing different things, you have to be more descriptive. You have to explain things. And I think that it helps as parents, even when you're young parents, when you pour into your child at a young age, and going back into the mental awareness of it, it's like now you're giving your child an opportunity to be able to speak. You're not only speaking verbally, but also within writing, within in reading and understanding. It's just important to have communication in whichever form there is. I think it's way deeper than just being on the phone, or like sometimes when you're in the house with your kid and you want to talk to them and they text you. No, get up and go see your parents.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And I incorporated that. You know what I'm saying? Like with my daughter, when we eat, we at the table. No tablet, no phone, no TV on. We just talk. Hey baby, how you doing? How was your day? It was good, daddy. We just talk. And I like that. I think that's very refreshing to me. Like to give her my attention, not being on my phone, but like, but I don't know. We gonna talk.
On your end, as you have your daughter and then you have yourself, right? Your daughter don't know what you have going on. Mm-hmm. She's in her world. In her world, I'm not gonna say I don't know if it's perfect, but I don't know what a child sees. I can tell you from my own experience. When I was younger, I didn't see the world as my parents saw it, because if anything was going on, it wasn't nothing to me. Because when I flicked the lights on, I had light. When I wanted to play on that, use my laptop, I used it. Watch TV, I watched it. Play Nintendo 64, I had that. So I didn't see the world as my mother would have saw it. If something was going on, she didn't expose me to that.
Yeah.
So going back into the mental part of it, I don't know mentally what she was feeling or what she might have been going through, at that time. But until I got older and I started to communicate with her more, and she started to pour into me and tell me, okay, well, this is what's happening, I was like, oh my gosh, I never knew. Because as parents, we will do our best to mask that from our kids or whatever, so that they don't have to see what we're going through.
Yeah.
We don't want them to feel like they're in a space where they probably always have to be worried or concerned.
Yeah, or they feel like a burden.
Or the first thing that your parent would tell you when something's going on is, don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. We got this. Mm-hmm. We gonna make it better. We gonna make it through whatever it is. If they were to tell you what's going on, because most times most parents don't let their children know that when they're having a hardship or anything. But who's checking on the parents?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy too, cause let me read this. LOL, I'm going to stop talking. It seems like I'm talking too much. But very great conversation, very good topic. Really enjoyed it. Nah, you can listen. This is chat. You can say whatever you want. Hello, come on now. Keep on. We good. you good on that. Don't even trip on that. Don't even trip. You good. You are good. But one thing that I do now, but that's a very good point is on what he was saying. He's also no. You can say whatever you want. This chat right here. But so like I talk to my daughter, you know what I'm saying, and my daughter is very smart. She's understanding.
Mm-hmm.
I never forget one time, like I broke down in front of her. I couldn't hold it in. I tried my best to, but I just couldn't. Mm-hmm. Oh, all right, now. This mental health bad. I'll start roasting you, dog. What you want to do, pig? What you want to do, pig in a blanket?
Hey.
What you want to do, pig in a blanket?
Hey.
I know it's mental health matters, but this can turn into mental fight matters. We talk about what you. Don't bring my Florida side out. You see this hat? Don't bring it out. I'll call you after this. After the stream go on, we gonna talk. Don't even trip on that.
He has something to chill.
Well, whatever zone 6. But I had broke down in front of her. I was like, dang, bro, like it was crazy because she cried with me. The reason why I broke down because I had to take her back because it was the end of my weekend. Mm-hmm. We was having so much fun. Like we had baked something like cookies. We watched movies, popcorn. Like we did the whole shebang. We had a good time. And then like I was like, damn, time went by fast. And then that Sunday hit, and I had to drop her off at 6. And I was like, I just started buzzed out crying. And then she cried and she held me, and she was like, Daddy, can I stay with you? And I broke down even more. She cried with me, and then I had to drop her off. And why she crying? And I was like, because she wanted to be with her daddy. Like it was sad. I broke down. I couldn't hold it.
Well, to my point, did you at that moment feel as though that you had a support? Do you have? I mean, just
yeah, like my daughter, like she's smart, bro.
Your daughter's your support system, but do you have support outside of that?
Outside my daughter, yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
But see, what you have, some people don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when some people had that moment where they get to that point where they're literally down to their knees because it's just like, I'm praying and, everybody has a different belief system, whatever they do, whatever. We're not going to get into that one, but whatever you believe in, right? You get down, you pray, you whatever, and you're like, I don't even know if there's an answer for what I'm going through. But I'm going through it, and I'm trying to ask for help. I'm asking, and I'm seeking, and I'm needing, and I need somebody to pour into me because I feel like that the cup. We all talk about the cup. Remember I told you about the cup.
The cup.
When you talk about the cup.
I wish I had one.
You know what I'm saying?
I got the cup. The imaginary cup.
The imaginary cup.
I'm gonna hold one.
When you overfill that cup,
mm-hmm.
the cup could be you. Sometimes you get overfilled with everything. Everybody's like, oh, it's too much. It's too much. Now my cup is overfull. Throw that cup down. Throw it. Like this. Now it's like I'm down, and now there's all of what was poured into that cup is here, and now I'm literally here because that's sometimes how people be. They literally be like, I'm here and I need help. I need somebody to help me. But sometimes their cries for help comes out in different ways. It could be sometimes they'll call you, or sometimes they'll start acting out. Sometimes they might just they're doing something and you're like, why is this person doing this? Or why are they going through this? And sometimes in relationships, it oftentimes happens when you lash out at each other. You get to arguing, you get to fighting, you get to become physically doing things.
I got what I'm saying? Is arguing a choice?
Yes. It is definitely a choice.
I agree.
I think that you have the option to walk away. You have the option to leave. But mentally we don't think that. Sometimes when we're down and that all that pent in emotion is in there and it lashes out, most people call it.
I was like that.
But most people call it blacking out.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest. I ain't perfect. Like I couldn't stand when they be like, I don't want to talk about it. And I just be like, nah, we're talking about it right now. Like,
yeah.
Instead of giving them their space and respecting that, I was like, hell no.
Yeah,
we ain't waiting. I'm mad now. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, nah, I gotta calm that shit down because it ain't worth it. It ain't worth losing the person. You feel me?
And the main thing is that when people have the situation going on, whatever like that, they don't know how to just say, okay, take the accountability for that moment and then leave from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you acknowledge what the issue is at hand, then you can, take the accountability for it, say, okay, I messed up, whatever, and I'm going to take my option and I'm going to go, and I'll come back when it makes more sense. But sometimes I think that we get so caught up in the emotion and mentally, as men can be get mentally drained so fast to the point to where, if it's to a man or whatever, when we get down and we try to talk about it, or sometimes we don't even talk about it. We'll just keep it all in, and then when we blow up, it's up. You can't take it back.
They say absolute cinema.
Yeah, you can't take it back. You already now you have put yourself in a situation to where it could you got locked up, you lost your car, you lost your house, you lost your kids, you lost your plate of food that you thought you was cooking. Yeah, that shit gone too.
And like what's an eye opener too? Like when you going through something and you always be like complaining, right? And then like you'll just see something and you be like, why am I complaining? You feel what I'm saying? Or you hear something, you be like, why am I complaining? Like I was on a crosswalk and I see people with like metal mid legs, arm. You feel what I'm saying? Like this one dude, he had a hook like as his arm, and he had his luggage. And in his arm, he had his luggage. He lifted it up and he was walking. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Why am I complaining? It's other people that go through something worse than me and they making it. And so why am I complaining?
And think how that person might feel mentally, how it might be draining them.
Exactly. And I'm over here mad about McDonald's messing up my food. He probably ain't, you know what I'm saying? He probably ain't got no food. He probably, he got a hook arm carrying his luggage by himself, struggling. And I felt so bad because I'm on a crosswalk. I can't just leave and help. Cause I help people walk across the crosswalk with their luggage all the time. Well, cause you know what I'm saying, like just that customer service. I go above and beyond for my customers.
Well, you also gotta remember too. You have something most people don't have. A heart.
I heard that. He said I got a heart. I heard that, right? So I don't want to hear nothing. Like you so hearted. You ain't got no heart, bro.
Yeah, I think that it's important to care. To have an ounce of care. Sometimes if you have like that family member that you just know got some
best friend.
You got that family member that you know that's got some shit popping off, and every time you talk to them, it's always something. Well, you know what I'm saying, my girl, you know what I'm saying, I gotta, I have my light bill, I got this going on. It's always something going on with this particular group of people, whatever. So now you might have to pour a little bit more into that with them. You might have to say, hey, what's going on?
You in line.
It's because everybody got that one friend or family member that every time you look up, it's always something.
Best friends, bro. Yo, hell. Doing the bare minimum and pulling in traffic. Don't even trip on that. Hey, I ain't got my whistle right now. It's in my book bag. I'll go to whistle in your ear on this chat.
Yeah. But I think it's important that when you see the signs of that man or woman that is experiencing a mental situation, whether it's within, if they're within if you are within their support community, reach out, talk to them, call them. Now, granted, by all means, sometimes you're not going to be able to touch everybody that you want to. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to break them from whatever they're going through, but at least you can show some type of care, and have a heart towards what they're going through. Now, that's not saying you got to spend some money and all that. No.
Come on now.
I might help you out with a plate or something, but one thing that never hurts to do is to call and check up on someone and say, are you doing okay? How you doing? You can talk to me. I can listen. And if it's something you can do within your will, make it happen. But to not to do nothing and to see a person going through something, that's a problem. You know, that's an issue. And that's even going back to earlier, I was telling you about my homegirl that got shot by her dude. Mm-hmm. You know, like, the main problem there was that the signs was there probably, and the friends or the circle of the community probably didn't see the core of the issue, and it wasn't just probably their relationship, it was probably just him and what he was going through, and he didn't have nobody to pour into. And then maybe she could have gotten to a point where she was like, well, now I want to separate myself from this, mm-hmm. and then he never wanted to let go. Because now, then it gets to a point where if I can't be with you, nobody can.
Yep.
And I'm taking you with me because I'm ready to go.
And that's sad too, man.
And that's not cool. You should never get to that point. No man, no woman should ever get to a point where they feel like that if I can't have you, nobody else can have you. No. Somebody else can have you. You can go.
Exactly.
I'm going to go.
Exactly.
You know, but it should never get to that place. And I think that people, especially I just see it more in men. If you look into the news and what's been going on in the current climate, there's been a lot of shooting done by men against their pregnant girlfriends, wives, whatever, or even girlfriends.
Yeah.
Just in generally.
I ain't trying to get all, what they say, conspiracy theory. But like, do you feel like it's in the food? Like what people eat, do you feel like that can? All right, hit me up. All right, so look, you have I'm just saying, Chad. Okay, say if you have a cow, right? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the cow is crying. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Crying, and you kill him, right? Mm-hmm. And then now you have the beef, right, for the cow, and then you cook it. So the hormones and the sadness that this cow had, you cooking it, and then you're eating it, right? Do you feel like you're gonna get I ain't gonna say the hormone, but the feelings that cow had from the food that you're eating inside of them? That's what I'm trying to say. Do you feel like that?
If you want to talk about cow, most cows eat grass.
But I'm saying, like, I'm talking about like if they're sad.
Okay.
All right, chicken, whatever you want to cook. A deer. Okay, a deer. We do a deer. A deer is like crying, right? Like tears. You see the tear. Yes. You kill them. Yes. Deer hunting season. Boom. And then you cook them, right?
Okay.
Do you feel like you're gonna get the emotions that they had from based on what they did before you killed them?
I think statistically, I would have to statistically look into that to see, but that's an excellent question.
I'll show you something.
I'm not.
I'll show you something.
Yeah,
after
please.
This.
I'm not there yet. I'm not there.
Don't worry, we're gonna reach that.
I can only give you my own perspective upon from what I've been through in life and what is going on in the current climate, what I see or whatever I personally experience. But even though
I was trying to figure out what's the core issue. Like how do we go from locking doors? Keeping your house door unlocked, your car door unlocked, and nothing happening, to sex trafficking, to kids at 5 years old obese. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on? What are we doing? What's going on? And then you got men out here, a woman don't want to talk to him, they want to shoot him. I don't want your number. You gonna give me your number? What? Even at work, I seen some crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude's like, that's my cousin. Trying to get him a hubby. That's my cousin. I said, man, give me your license registration. Don't play with me. That's my cousin. And lady looking at him like, don't touch me. I don't know you. Mm-hmm. Awkward. Like, I don't know what's going on with men, man. And then you got women. And that's all I'm gonna say. Not all, you know what I'm saying? Not all. But I don't know.
I think that
I just don't know what went wrong. Like, what's going on, bro?
People gonna people. Regardless of how we try to break it down into a specific group or whatever. I think people are gonna do what people do, and the main core of it is just to figure out how we as a support community can make sure that when you see people that's experiencing those things mentally, like if they're crying out for help them, and the best way that you can. And the most important thing there is just to communicate. And I'm gonna say it 20,000 times because y'all know that people do not talk. People can say, "Oh, well, I check up on those who check up on me." Okay, cool, but what does that do? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's other people that you know that may not call you every day, but might actually do love you and care for you. You know, so
Yeah.
You know, so now, but you gonna stick with that. I'm gonna check up on those who check up on me. Well, then, okay, well, you do that, and then, but don't hit me up, talk about so and so. This happened with so and so, but did you check on them? Because that's what I always say. I'm always be the person. Did you call them? Did you reach out to them? Did you say? Did you see how what they had going on or how they were doing? You know, you think about women who have children who just have babies and postpartum and all of that as well. You know, it's so many different factors of the mental health aspect of the foundation of it that we could touch on. But the core of it is communication. And if you are understanding of that and you are one of those people that say, hey, I saw that this is what's been going on for this period of time. Now I want to be the person to change that. Then within your community and the people that you engage with, you change that.
Exactly.
You know, start at how you want to start. You know, the pastor always say, well, neighbor, look to your neighbor to the left, to the right, and say, neighbor, today I changed. So today, why don't we make sure that the people who are listening, people who are engaging in the conversation, that they take the opportunity after today to reach out to those who are in need. That they, you know, start with who you know. You know, because majority of the time it's always the ones that are the closest to you that's experiencing the most. That when things happen, we always say, "I wish I could have," or "I should have," "could have." You know,
shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Exactly.
And we don't. You know, and it's within the black community, Latino community, the white, you know, whatever you want to call it. It's in all communities.
But they love you when you dead, though. When you
They'll
was
show
alive,
up for you too.
They check on you. But they want to be at the funeral, jumping in the casket. Why you had to take my friend? Why you had to take my ex? Why you had to take my baby? Like, but you ain't check on me one time. Right. I ain't talked to you in 15 years. Right. But you want to show up at my funeral and fake cry. Yeah. That's why I'm getting cremated. So the real ones that were there, they gonna get a piece of my heart. You feel what I'm saying? The wear me on the necklace with my heart, with my, you know,
I think it's
my ashes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know.
I think it's important that we just start with your immediate community. Start there, and even like you think about your family. If you work with people and you communicate with them, that's your work family. You know, just look out for the ones that just communicate. I can't stress it enough. I had to learn that. I used to be one of those people once upon a time that, man, I ain't got time for that. I ain't fooling with that. Especially me back in the days, that kind of was, I ain't. Back when I was, white t-shirt, big oversized clothes and all that. I was one of
Jabos.
Hey.
Just like them Jabos now. Come on now.
Come on now. I was really one of those people that was like really one track mind on himself. Mm-hmm. And I didn't give a damn about whatever else was going on outside my world. Unless it was like my sisters or something like that. Yeah. I ain't really too much cared about, checking on people. I ain't give a damn. Because y'all ain't making me no money, so I'm not about to fool with you. Yeah. But like now that I'm older and as I'm getting closer up in age, I ain't gonna tell you my age, but up in my age, I realized.
What's the age? No,
right? I'm realizing that when you communicate with your people, you're a better person. You're a better man. You're a better woman. When you pour more into your people, because
I agree. And the single mother rate is going up crazy too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fathers just exit it up. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, men are mentally stable to be husbands.
They ain't hear you. Said a lot of people.
I said a lot of men are not mentally stable to be husbands. They're not ready. And oftentimes a woman, some women will state that it's. A woman sometimes will know what she wants, but a man won't know what he wants or whatever, or he's just not ready for what she's ready for, or it'd be vice versa. He could be ready, but she's not ready.
That's a good point.
People. It's way that's a whole other conversation, man. We stick with mental health.
That's a part of mental health matters. Marriage and premarital counseling. counseling. That's part of mental health matters. Because
Hey,
a lot of people don't do it. They just argue, toxic. That's it. But you know.
It's an old saying: "Love is patient, love is kind, love is worth it. When it's time for those who believe in love, it will happen for them." But you got to understand that when you see the signs that a person is not willing to pour into you, or you are even willing to pour into them, then why waste your time? You know.
And a lot of people be like, you know, it's just a lot of people are afraid to let go. You know what I'm saying? Or a lot of people are afraid to actually change their behaviors and stick it out and stop with the bullshit. Because I can agree to that too. Seeking help. A lot of people like to blame. Well, this sometimes you have a valid point. That's why communication is important. Because you can have a valid point. It's just how you say it. You gotta know how to talk to people. Don't be like a asshole when you say something like, pick up my goddamn clothes. You gonna get cussed the fuck out. No, hey baby, hey, when I go to work today, can you please wash my clothes for me and spend it for me? You know, that's nice. With my damn clothes.
Well, when you speak into that nature, you're speaking about approach. So when you how the way you approach a situation is definitely is prudent, because you don't want to approach a situation that is not going to be that's not going to end positively, right? You want it to be positive when you get done dealing with it, right? So I just think, you know, it's pouring into things and pouring into people. It's definitely it's you just don't want to just not just do that. Like you want to make sure that when you're communicating, you're being expressive. You want to touch on the things that haven't been spoken about, and it's just, I don't know. I wish more people just would just talk more. It's so much easier when you talk to, or what I'm trying to say, when you speak to listen and listen to be heard.
Yep.
And it makes a big difference. So, you know.
Chat, Father's Day, y'all, hey, we doing the stream, and I'm doing the Father's Day stream. Don't even trip on that. But yeah, chat. Man, W episode, WV for stopping by and spreading his knowledge, spreading his mental health matters awareness. I would like to, you know, V always call me and tell me, you know, me and him always check on each other. Like before we even start a conversation, how you doing? I'm doing good. You doing good? Yeah, I'm doing good. And then we'll start. What's tea? Yeah. And that's how we always do it, man. But V always give me my flowers, so you know he don't know I'm about to give him his flower. I got some things to say. First and foremost, this is an amazing friend. I know him for quite some time, about a year now, maybe 11 months, here or there. That's a year. It's a year. 2 years. I thought it was 2025. I met you. I thought I met you in 2025, December. All right, I'll do you 2 years. Don't even trip. But anyways, good luck. Good friend.
What she said about the head? What's the girl that said? What's her name?
I ain't got a big head. His head bigger than mine. He got a watermelon. I have a cantaloupe, but he got a watermelon. My amazing friend. This man always check on me. He always, you know what I'm saying, make sure I'm straight. When I call him, he's there. You know what I'm saying. A lot of friends don't get their flowers. Or they get their flowers when they're dead, but he gonna get his flowers when he alive. I like this. I appreciate you. You're an amazing friend. You got me the right way. You don't tell me what I want to hear. You tell me what I need to hear, and that's what I need in my life right now. I don't need no followers. I need a leader, and you're that for me. So W friendship, brother. I appreciate you, man. My brother right here, man. You know what I'm saying? My brother. He think he about to go home, but he not. We about to hang out. He ain't got nothing to do. He ain't about to do nothing. Don't worry, I'll go with you. We can come right back. You at the table. Yep. Have a talk about our stream.
All right.
Listen, man. Before you go, we wait for the lead. Yeah.
Well, first I just gotta say thank you for having me. You know what what I'm saying? Thank y'all for
course.
listening. Appreciate it.
Of course. So before you leave, we're gonna do words of encouragement. One last one for the youth, it's for the youth, for the generation. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to give a nice speech.
Give a nice speech.
You know, this your last words. You know what I'm saying? The floor is yours, sir. Motivational speech before you leave.
Okay. Wow. This is killing me right here. This is. Oh.
I ain't even noticed that. That's funny.
You know, believe in yourself. You know, believe that you can do all things, no matter how high or how low it may be. It may go. You keep going. Figure out your path. Your path oftentimes doesn't mean that what happened today. It may happen tomorrow. It may happen later on, but never give up on yourself, because you should be when you look in the mirror and you see yourself, you should be up in your shit. And those around you, oftentimes they don't see it. It's okay, because what you see and what they see is something totally different. Believe in your path. Believe in your light. Always let your light shine. No matter what table you're at, what room you're in, you be the light that you want to see for yourself, and you keep going all the way to the top.
Hello, W in the chat. I got one last thing to say for me. Let me go ahead and don't need to trip on that. All right, guys. So get right here real quick. All right, chat. So listen, your boy has applied for Streaming University 2026 with Castanet. I did. I think I'll be a great candidate because I'm full of fun. I'm for the people, and also I'm energetic. I love to dance, so anybody want that smoke, they can get it. But man, I've been streaming for quite some time, and I know I deserve this. I know I want this. Army veteran, you know what I'm saying? So I really hope that I get into it because I want to do it for Pensacola. Because we don't get well known for things like that in Florida like that. So I want to put on for my city. Hello, you know what I'm saying? I want to put on for the city. But please, look at my application. Consider it. So I can put on for the city. Have fun. KC3 and DB3. Come on now. Who want to see that? You know what I'm saying? Tight shit. We're going to turn up. But anyways, believe in yourself. Do what you want to do. Don't believe the naysayers, because people are going to hate you whether you're doing good or bad. They always going to have something to talk about. They're going to find that one little thing. And that's what tears people down nowadays. Fuck them. Believe in yourself. Do what you want to do in life. And believe in it and achieve it. And you'll do something good in life. Hello, and I'm out.